How's it going, everyone? I thought because it's been a bit of a slow week this week, I'd do some sort of an update or show you some of the madness that's been going on lately. As you can see, my hobby desk is completely trashed. My Mantors over here are in various stages of, excuse me, the dog has just found a poop bag and is now attacking it. Are in various stages of varnishing, if it'll focus. Not likely. I've got a ton of stuff on here, really. Here's all the stuff from the Melt project I was doing a while back. Bunch of kits underneath, of course, the obligatory baby heads, which I think were going to be objective markers for something. You see the dog losing his mind in the background. Got some irregular 28mm Dark Elves here, which are all part of an army that's also in various stages of priming and painting down here. Originally I had them in grey, but I'm going to paint them in black. There's 15mm regular space pirates. Got bad Pound Shop army men here. There's some alternative armies buried at the back there, Grima robots. There's an irregular 50mm tank there. More train figures that you've seen. Raumjäger, which are a key part of my Conflict 47 army. But what I wanted to show you also today is the wall, as it were, because there's probably some quite cool bits in here. People might get some inspiration, especially these drawers. I've got sort of a lot of stuff up top. All those, if it'll focus, all of those really useful boxes predominantly have armies in. Some of them finished, some of them not. There's like Chaos Demons, Chaos Space Marines and Space Marines in various states. My Bolt Action Soviet Army at the top. Looks like Eldar, bunch of dark and non-dark. My Havoc project goes across 3, I think. What does that look like? That's more Havoc in the Terravor. And my Conflict 47 force is up there as well. All my all of my you see the table as well in such a state on the sprue board. All of my, and that horror thing I was talking about last time. All my larger Death Zap figures there in one container. We have remember which I was say I have some War Sport Knights here. I can't remember whether those are Legion of Carthian or League of Xandor off the top of my head. I'll have to check an old battle report. Jandari Tigers, Pirates. I can't remember what I was going to do these as. I think these are actually Carthonian drop troops, but I don't think they ever featured anything. There might be Allegiance of Knossos. We have Rin Empire there. We have Jandari Defense Army. Mortan's Men, which I guess now come under supremacy of Canis. More pirates and exiled tribes who are now fighting for the Selenoids. So it's all, oh, and there's some Ascended as well. Not Second Ascended, which was a group I forgot about. Also, still, what's the dog up to? George, what are you doing? Behave yourself. Let's have a look in the drawers. More Death Zap in here, and a project I was doing all about called Comfortable. It's all about the comfortable wargaming. I was going for comfortable painting, so they're 1/72 figures, painted up easily and quickly. Had some old Airfix that I was using for Cimmerian Civil War. painted up in various Death Up schemes. These were some... that was early. Although those are Davian Supremacy, that was early Second Global War stuff. More Rin Empire there. So that's one draw, mostly Death Up, and randomly that Chaos Kill Team. Some bigger Death Up as well. That's one of Mortan's men there. What's in this drawer? These are Thousand Suns and Adeptus Mechanicus in various states. Funnily enough, the Thousand Suns painting tutorial I put on the blog ages ago is still the most popular post on my blog. I think a lot of people are looking for ways of painting Thousand Suns quickly, but then Adeptus Mechanicus barely touched in there. Some random War Games Atlantic stuff here, don't worry about that. And a bolt action Hungarian army. It's a truck with a bunch of machine guns on it, but I don't know, I can't think whether that's Hungarian or Soviet. But it's in there. Anyway. Up here, oh, there's a lot up here. This is random figures I did ages ago. This is fantasy figures with leftover bolt action weapons. Say fantasy, that's it's a 5-4 Games Russian, isn't it? Medieval Russian with a PPSH. So that works. And then I did some dwarves as well. As you can see, quite a lot of effort into their bases actually. That was for a skirmish idea I had. Then we have some Alternative Armies Erin at the back. Can't remember what the deer men are called, but were they Nemedian? I can't remember. And some Void. There's 2 starter sets there now sold by Seb Games. Oh, you're quizzing me now on the Syntha, are the robot guys in silver and purple, and Vasa potentially are the red and black. They're really cool, like really cool figures, big chunky details and not overly detailed. So they're a great fun to paint, but I've never actually got around to doing anything with them. So that's another project and there's just the Talos here. Probably should be in the Eldar box, which is just we continue. We have monochrome unicorns, if you can remember that post, that's from a while back. There's some flintlock werewolves. There's some little sort of Greek, ancient Greek mythology toads. I can't remember what the company was. It was Mouse something and all the money went to charity, but I think they've gone since. There's a sci-fi British colonial army, which I just made at one point in 15mm. Shaky hands, haven't had my medication yet today. Ghost Legions, various states from Irregular Miniatures, 42mm scale, so pirates, Japanese samurai, some World War II. And these were from the monochrome skirmish game that I was playing with a while back. Weird alien creatures. And in this drawer, oh wow, oh there's a lot in here. So we have super simple, the simple toy soldier game. I bought a bunch of irregulars, 28mm sci-fi stuff to play with that, and that was a lot of fun. So there's some of their greys. Some of their greys. Apologies, iPhones do not want to focus today. Some greys, some, these are just called humanoid aliens, but they're like mole men. They're 20mm Space Marines, which are true scale, so they're quite big. That's part of the 20mm scale. There's a lot of Grenadier, old Grenadier figures back there, again for different skirmish games. Then it appears I dumped on top all of my JL28 warbands that I made. That's JL spelled G-A-O-L. The rules are still on my Instagram, still on the blog. The idea was to have a very simple skirmish game, but that had a lot of sort of, to put a lot of tactical decisions and manoeuvring in that. There's a lot in that drawer. Even some 10mm irregular here, based individually. Various skirmish things. I hope you're finding this somewhat inspirational. Here is my partisan army for bolt action. All in there. A couple of trucks, weapons teams. My favourite aspect of the partisans were the football team. Formed the elite squad, all from irregular. The rest of the normal partisans were War Games Atlantics. But I found their weapons that they have to be a bit skinny, a bit easy to break, especially the SMGs on the sprue. So I borrowed a lot of ones I'd left over from Italians, weapons from their World War I, Russians and Germans, sort of get them up to snuff. There's a couple of policemen in there as well, again from a regular. Spent a long time Googling appropriate police uniforms. Turns out it's just mostly navy blue, so I didn't really need to Google it. Nope. Put those back in. In here we have more Death Sap, and it's the Death Sap I couldn't fit in the top box. So we've got the Kambari gunslingers in there, which will be are a key part of the Rin Rebellion game that I've played a few times, and the weird skirmish warbands I was playing with lately. The ones I'm actually building the sprue board for, but I haven't got around to finishing that up yet. And then I'll get terrain, and then we can play with them, and some really bad army men that are... What are these guys? I can't remember. I just can't remember. If I remember, I'll shout it in a second, but I can't remember. Down here we have, for my Universal Skirmish rules, all the different warbands. So the family at the back, which are all the blue zombie people, Windblade Elves, Dragon Temple, all the Asian sort of martial arts guys. Witch Hunters. I can't remember what I called the robot faction, but military robots. Trogs, which are all orcs, and goblins. Greys, but none of them are grey, including the big alien. He's quite cool from their retro range. He is grey. And Scorpio Bugs. And then I think I was calling these guys the Bear Clan, I think, or the Wolf Clan, something like that. Sort of like cavemen, slightly upgraded cavemen, humans with wolves. And down there is some of the my Screw Wars armies. Teeny tiny 6mm screws. I think those are some cultists there. That's there. There's spare greys in a bag here, which haven't been used for anything yet. That's that drawer. Up here, this drawer, we have a lot of Ghost Legion stuff, which if you follow the blog you'll have seen recently, so I won't talk too much about that. My bolt action Italian army, all in various states of completion. Big drawer, all the dice. Oh gosh, this is, should we just not talk about this drawer? Knockoff Age of Sigmar, There's a Chaos Warrior. I think I went Khorne on that, I can't remember exactly. There's some Erin figures from Alternative Armies in here too. Is that drop? Fleet Commander. I can see some Warhammer stuff at the back. Another truck that I need to add paint up to get into the Partisans. Yeah, that's pretty much that draw. In here, oh wow, Wasteman figures at the back. A different iteration of Ghost Legions where I was doing the dry brush on both sides. There's a guy from the Dragon Temple, but he's in the wrong place. Ooh, what draw was that? Oh, what's this draw? I'll put him back with the rest of his crew. Alright, this draw. Random bad figures. I just painted up quickly for the testing rules. I can't remember what that was for. Age of Sigmar zombies, their current iteration, which are pretty good actually, begrudgingly I'm going to say that. Space Babies, a lot of Space Babies in here as well, and all the terrain I made for that Space Babies thing. Leave any comments and questions below. That's a bit of a misc draw, that one. This is also equally misc. Oh gosh. Adeptus Titanicus Knights hiding at the back. Bunch of cheap tanks that haven't been turned into things for Death Sap yet. A bunch of monochrome skirmish warbands that haven't been stripped and added to this draw, which I'll probably will get around to at some point. That was the Wolf Clan, but Bear Clan with the Native American warband put together for that. Snowmen from that weird Horus Heresy themed Snowman game. Throughout all the barrels, because you get so many barrels, and some old minifigs in here as well, which are really cool. Never really got around to doing anything with them, but they're all here waiting to hit the table one day. Really weird, sort of old school sci-fi stuff. Clown with a big weapon and some sort of metal arm. I'll have to do something with them one day. And some was this from the one box war game challenge? I can't remember who set that, but I got a box of Afghans and was putting together some sort of skirmish game based around them. There's that draw. Up here we have my old, these went to Armies on Parade, Chaos Army for Age of Sigmar, but they were all made out of Chaos Space Marine bits, because I wanted to do them like in suits of armour from some sort of weird kind of industrial world, so they're all rusty and chipped. And I used a lot of baking powder for some reason on the bases, so now they've gone a bit, they smell a bit, how do you describe it? It's just like vinegary. This is pretty cool army one day. I guess I could rebase them. Could do them for Old World, couldn't I? And got so far as to make big mutant ogres, and they're painted pretty well as well. I should return to them one day. Add them to my Death Guard army. A bunch more speed painted. Drop my phone. Speed painted Nurgle stuff at the back. These were an attempt at Chaos Cultists. Old zombies with spare Imperial Guard weaponry. That's all that. Actually, Warhammer. More Warhammer. Khorne Orcs. Pretty decently painted as well. I think I was going to attempt to rebase these for Old World Savage Orcs. Some trolls that I think had to stand in as Korgoraths. Trolls. Quite a cool army in there. All Chaos Demons, but brightly nice and colourful ones. Beast of Nurgle. He looks pretty decent. Did a surprisingly good job on these. Put quite a bit of time in. Plague Bearer. And I was trying to do, I think I was trying to do everything in a colour you wouldn't expect. So like green. Green's pretty weird for a blood letter. That's all that. Oh, and dinosaurs up front. My dinosaur skirmish game. Very cheap and nasty dinosaurs. Down here, I have my Chaos Dodies, which were a cool, fun project to do. An army I have not returned to since. I remember having quite a bit of fun with playing games with them at the start of 9th edition 40k, I think they played a part in. And some War Games Atlantic, Eisenkern, Stormtroopers, and Cannon Fodder, which I painted up quick for trying out different sci-fi rules. That's that drawer. And here is an old Necron army, which has appeared on the blog before. Nothing really exciting to report about that. There is a Necron Lord in here that's a decently old, one of the old metal, original sort of Necron Lords. But he doesn't appear to jump out on me currently. Oh no, there he is. We'll finish on this for now. The old Necron Lord whose head fell off and I lost it, so I had to replace his head with a modern Necron head. And a bit of a scarab on the back to give him like a crest. But yes, that, as far as the hobby room tour goes, those are the drawers. Maybe one day I'll go through the armies up there. There's a bunch of stuff down here, and down here behind all of that is, and various other books on theology, is the War Games library. So every rule book, every codex I've got, and it'd be quite cool to go through some of them, because some of them are quite old. Down there, it's just a bunch of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed. Again, it's not focusing. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a tour of my hobby room. I hope you found it somewhat inspirational, and I'll see you next time.